and breathe. My God, what a result for Newcastle United here in the sunny Toon. 2-0, 3 points, third in the league. As it stands, Arsenal play Liverpool this afternoon as well, so wow, we could even go second if Liverpool manage to beat them, and then next week we'll get something on over Arsenal. But today, what a day, by the way, sitting here, lovely seat in the director's lounge, the director's box as well, just down there, so it's been absolutely incredible. And the first half was incredible. Listening, the atmosphere was brilliant in the opening there, it really was. I thought obviously the nerves kicked in a little bit towards the end. You've got TNT behind me down there, Crouchy and that. Tonali and Byrne were down there before, and them two were just absolutely ridiculous. They've just passed Federico Fernandez in the director's bit there, and Mitchell as well, and everyone, to be fair. They're obviously all here for what has been a massive occasion for Newcastle. A huge game with huge pressure, because obviously we're both tied on points before the match. We knew the importance of this one, but all the kids up there shouting and everything. And up there as well, we had Joe Linton wearing a Shearer shirt in the box. We absolutely love to see it, but we hate to see him missing, because I think he was a big miss today, Joe Linton. He's obviously so pivotal for us in the way we play. You know, that midfield got lost a little bit in that second half, I thought. But listen, what a win. First and foremost, who gives a crap about the performance overall, really? When you've got 3 games to go in the season, now 2 games to go, and you get the win. That's all that matters. When you're at this stage of the season, in Champions League is at place, results is all that counts. All you need is 3 points on the board. Don't care how you get it, just make sure you get it. And that's what we did the day in. Do you know what it is? Down to 10 men. I'll show you this week, to be fair, because you can see Longstaff, Wilson, William Masuda all sprinting there behind me in the Toon sunshine. I mean, what a glorious day this is. What an occasion this is. It's just absolutely tremendous, to be fair. I'm going to take a look at seats as we'll round up the hour match reaction. And make sure you're dropping your comments below, everyone. And subscribe if you haven't already, because Newcastle United are only 3 points away from a Champions League place. Because of goal difference, all we need is 1 more win, so that is monumentally massive. That game against Everton here in a couple of weeks' time, the last game of the season, where hopefully the sun will be shining like it is now, and it'll be huge. Pickford, Dinosaur Arms, I'm sure the atmosphere will be going crazy again. But before that, listen, we've got Arsenal next week. So that's a big game in itself, you know, to close the gap on second. Imagine we could get runners up. But let's not focus on that for now. Let's talk about the game today. And it was a boisterous start. It was a feisty encounter throughout, to be fair. But you know what? Newcastle did a great initiative today, getting people at the ground early from 10 a.m, offering free pints, because the atmosphere was the best I'd seen in a while, and the best I've ever seen for an early kick-off. Not even a lunchtime kick-off, not 12:30, not 12:45, at 12 on the dot on a Sunday. A lot of people aren't even out of bed by that point. You know what I mean? The Yorkshires aren't even in the oven yet. So it was a big one for us to get the atmosphere going, and we certainly did that. I thought the crowd was outstanding, more flags, brilliant. Everyone was dead up for it, and the players were really up for it as well. And what a dream start. You know, sound of Tonali, 2 minutes in, putting that goal in the back of the net. And I was thinking, yeah, again, there's going to be 4 or 5. And I did a story on Instagram and stuff earlier, and I said during the week, like, everyone's nervous. I'm not nervous, I'm confident. I think we'll smash them. Tell you what, I was bloody nervous by the end. We'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, 2-0 up, 1-0 up, sorry, in 2 minutes. And I'm thinking, we're going to smash these here. And we had loads of the ball. We're playing some really good stuff. And we just didn't make a count, though. You know, we didn't quite take the chances. We didn't quite find that final pass, that cutting edge. We didn't really have it in the first half an hour, first half. You know, there was moments there where you thought, oh, Barnes had done that, Mayfield did that. Listen, it was a different lineup today. Obviously, there was no Trippier, no Willock in the squad at all. Sven Botman came back in and made his first start, and God knows how long. Or was it Spurs away when he went on that little run? So he did it. You know, so he came back in, Botman there, and he did good. He was solid enough. Had to come off second half, whether that was injury or a bit of it, a bit of both, or a bit of, you know, the fitness thing, because also tactical. You know, we did obviously revert. You know, we mixed it up in that second half. We brought Kraft on and we made a change. Alright, no worries, mate. Cheers. We you know, we brought Kraft on, we made things different. You know, we brought Miley on. So I thought, you know, it was a good bit of balance when we did that, to be fair. And it wasn't quite clicking for Newcastle overall today. You know, when you've got Murphy as a wing back, I thought it worked well in the first half, but second half, Enzo Fresca, to be fair to him, you know, he made a change, put Palmer in the false 9, and they did well with the 10 men, and we kind of struggle against 10 men. we've maybe jumped the gun a little bit there. We're not talking about the send-off because obviously Nicholas Jackson did see his yellow card turn into a red card thanks to VAR. That got changed and it was a red. You could see from here, you know, big elbow in the face. It was a red card. I thought it had a bit of a derby feel about it the day. That was very hostile, you know, we're booing the Chelsea players a lot, obviously to get in their heads, but also just the challenges and the fouls that were flying about. It felt important. It did have that big game feel to it, as of course it was. And yeah, Jackson did get sent off thanks to VAR, thanks to the intervention of VAR. That worked out well for a change, and it was well deserved. You know, they did warrant that red card. And to be honest, Newcastle then played worse against 10 men, but were better when it was just against the 11. To be honest, honestly, I thought we were better. Sometimes we struggle when teams sit back, when they make it difficult, when they switch things up. But the second half, I just thought you could feel the nerves. You could definitely feel the nerves in the crowd around me. You could definitely feel the nerves with the players. You could definitely get a grasp of how important that win was, how big the game was. You know, it was one of them ones where you look at the clock and you're thinking, oh my God. But we're looking at the clock, and it's thanks to our captain, Bruno, where we don't have to worry for stoppage time, because that would have been a very long, awful 5 minutes of stoppage time if Bruno Guimaraes didn't put that in the back of the net from outside the box just about. So that made life a lot easier, made the last 5 minutes or so a lot more enjoyable. As the chance went round of EIEIO, up the Premier League we go, and that is what we've done. We've gone up to third. Champions League, as it has been for a while, is in our hands. One more win, one more big 3 points on the board with 2 games to go. Fantastic stuff. And yeah, listen, it was nervy. Second half wasn't great at all. I thought, you know, we looked a bit slow, a bit tired. We struggled a bit. So we rallied it out. We battled it out, and that's all that matters. You know, like I said, all we care about is getting that result over the line, and we did it. All that matters is the 3 points on the board. We're looking good for European football. Sandro Tonali today, sensational, absolutely world class, man. What a player. And Dan Burn as well, big Dan Burn at the back, battling out hard. Just an absolute warrior. And like I say, fair play to Crafton that came on. You know, I thought he offered a bit of steadiness, a bit of balance. It didn't quite click today. This is the awkward thing we've got with Barnes and Gordon, because of how good Barnes has been. He can't really drop him, but then you've got Gordon up in the door and how good he was earlier in the season. He deserves to come back in, but it just wasn't really working. We even tried Gordon down the middle, Isak out wide, and I'm telling you now, Isak's not right. Like, Isak hasn't been right for a while. He doesn't look quite up to the pace, doesn't look like he's got the speed or the energy, but he was still putting himself about, and he's still battling hard, and there's 2 games to go, and in one of those, all we need is a win to secure Champions League football is back here at St James's Park. So that'll do for me, everyone. Thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Drop your thoughts below in the comments. Subscribe to the My Channel TV. I'll see you in the next one.